We continue our march of Season 1 of Girls Und Panzer with another character analysis. Continuing from last time, we'll be taking a look at another major Pravda character in the lead-up to the Pravda-Ori match. Arguably the most impactful sub-commander in the entire show, Nonna. No official sponsor this week, but this video is brought to you once again by my upcoming original manga, Amaranth Angels. Cute anime girls, starfighters, and exciting space battles. Written by a Girls Und Panzer fan for other Girls Und Panzer fans. And for fans of military moe in general. The Kickstarter already fully funded, but I'll be launching a second chance campaign on Indiegogo soon. Probably within the next week or two. So if you missed out, there'll be another chance to get in on the action. Look forward to an announcement on that front soon. Now, onto the video. So I was debating whether, for this video, to make it a Nonna-Clara combination, like I've done for the other schools that have two primary vice commanders. But I like doing things in order as much as possible, and Clara doesn't appear until their film. So I think I'll save her for then. Besides, Nonna does have enough to talk about for a solo video. She's kind of got almost as much screen time as Katyusha does, after all. So without further ado, let's talk about our favorite unflappable gunner. Obviously, spoilers ahead for at least the Ori Pravda battle, as well as some potential Dare film and DOS finale one. But if you're watching these videos and haven't watched Girls Und Panzer yet, what are you doing? Go watch it already. So, where to start with Nonna? Well, she's another one of those characters with two very different sides to her. However, somewhat unique to her, she's always in complete control of which side of her she expresses, at least for all the time we've seen her on screen so far. Actually, thinking back, I think she's really the only character, period, who we never see break character, for lack of a better term. Even Hana, who usually also is very graceful, measured, and controlled, had that one moment early on when she lets her guard down. Not so with Nonna. Of course, the more recognizable mode for Nonna is the quiet, stoic, intimidating Nonna that we see during Senshiro matches. There, more so than anyone else we've seen so far in the show, she's all business. Cold, calculating, precise, and decisive. No matter what happens during a match, she never loses her cool, never acts rashly, and always has the plan in mind. This is both in her dual role as gunner/tank commander and vice commander of the team. A calm, at least semi-stoic nature is a common theme for gunners in Girls Und Panzer, likely drawing on classical depictions of snipers. And among the Girls Und Panzer snipers, Nonna is easily one of the best, especially when in the IS-2. She misses very few, if any, of the shots we see her take throughout the series. Her very calm, focused demeanor also serves as a perfect counterpart to that of her commander, Katyusha, who is much more animated and prone to outbursts. By tempering Katyusha's less useful traits during a match, Nonna helps keep her and the team on mission. And of course, her fierce loyalty to Katyusha definitely helps strengthen the rest of the team's resolve. Sure, Katyusha might threaten you with the metaphorical gulag if you mess up. But let's be honest, she's like 4 foot tall. She's not particularly scary. But God save you if Nonna tosses a glare your way. Much, much more intimidating without her ever really needing to try. And with never even needing to raise her voice at all. The closest we see her come to ever raising her voice in any capacity at all comes in their film, when she urges Katyusha to escape as she holds off the university team. And even then it's still in a very controlled manner. Remember, we were shown Nonna as the intimidating face of Pravda prior to the episode where she and Katyusha first properly appeared in Season 1, for a reason. Of course, speaking of Katyusha, the other side of Nonna's personality is primarily seen when her vertically challenged commander is involved. Though there are other moments where we see there's more to her than just being a stone-cold Senshiro competitor. Like this little moment in the opening battle of their film, where Nonna takes a moment to bow to the shrine before following Katyusha down the stairs. This side of Nonna is that of a very caring, supportive, and nurturing person, at least when it comes to Katyusha. Though, generally, when she's interacting directly with her commander, Nonna's demeanor totally changes. She smiles, in her measure-controlled way of course, much more freely, has a softer approach to things, and she even jokes around a bit, mostly via good-naturedly poking fun at Katyusha. The fact that Nonna has a mother-like approach to her friendship with Katyusha much of the time has an added layer of humor to it as well, since I'm pretty sure Katyusha is canonically the older of the two of them. Though in DOS finale, it seems a little more like she's sort of the mom pushing her daughter off to college than babying a young child, given the scene of her and Clara bemoaning the fact that Katyusha isn't learning Russian, despite planning to attend a Russian-speaking school for college. Also, in a bit of a funny twist, Nonna is the only mother-like figure in the show that doesn't have at least a little bit of drama or suspect practices. At least in Season 1. Of course, her acting this way isn't solely because she finds Katyusha cute, though that certainly is part of it. Nonna makes it clear, especially during the big sacrifice scene in their film, that she really does respect Katyusha as a Senshiro competitor and commander, and that she's not simply humoring her at the other times. though she certainly does do that sometimes, probably because she enjoys Katyusha's chuny personality. For reasons that aren't ever spelled out to us explicitly, and they don't really need to be, Katyusha is the only person Nonna lets her guard down around at all, at least until we meet Clara in their film. Though Clara is kind of more of a co-conspirator with Nonna than a friend in the same way that Katyusha is. And I have to think that part of the reason they bonded as much as they did was both because of their shared Russian fluency, and because Clara became just as obsessed with Katyusha as Nonna did. And that's really who Nonna is in a nutshell. Her commander's loyal right-hand woman in every conceivable way. Someone there to both support her and enforce her will, but also to keep her in check, so to speak. So that Katyusha's chuny, aggressive personality doesn't go overboard and go to her head, not too much at least. And of course, you have to reach a certain level of dedication to carry someone even as small as Katyusha on your shoulders all the time. In fact, this look of Nonna carrying Katyusha is so well known that there's even been a cameo appearance of characters cosplaying as them in another anime. But to others, of course, Nonna lives up to her cold blizzard nickname. In combat, she's cold, calculating, precise, and completely unflappable. She's very much someone you want on your team if you ever find yourself in a tank engagement. Though something tells me that Nonna's internal monologue sounds different, especially when she's hanging out with Katyusha. But in all seriousness, I do think that their friendship is overall a healthy one. And it's really due to their partnership and their different personalities complementing each other that Pravda's Senshido team is as good as it is. If you enjoyed this video and like to support me and what I do here, my books and light novels are all available on Amazon. And you can get early access to videos, sneak peeks, and updates on my upcoming manga and other projects by subscribing over on Patreon, along with getting additional rewards. If we hit the $100 a month milestone over on Patreon, I'll be guaranteeing to do a waifu calendar featuring my characters for 2025. So if that interests you, and you'd like to get your own copy of that at no additional cost for being a subscriber, go check out the Patreon for more details, and sign up today. And while the Amaranth Angels Kickstarter was successfully funded a while ago, I'll be launching a secondary campaign over on Indiegogo within the next week or two to give anyone who missed out another chance to get on board. And of course, if you have any thoughts on this video or is anything Girls Und Panzer related you'd like me to talk about, definitely share them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them, and while I can't respond to every comment, at least not right away, I can promise that I read every single one of them. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. That's all for now, so until next time.